What's up? What's up? How's it going, y'all? How's it going? Hello, YouTube. How are you guys doing today? Today we're just talking about, let's see, is my stream all right over there? I think that's good. I think I need to be a little bit more centered, so I need to fix that. Today we're talking about choosing a camera. So if you guys over on YouTube or on TikTok are thinking about buying a camera, let me know what you guys are thinking of, what you're currently shooting, what your budget is, and we'll build out a rig. Or if you just have general questions, please let me know in the chat. Happy to try to answer as many questions as I can. I just got started right now, so the chats aren't coming in as quickly as they normally do, so take advantage. Feel free to ask any questions that you guys may be curious about. Basically, the way this works is you let me know what it is that you like, what you're looking at, and I'll try to build it out for you and do some price comparisons to see what's going on. I have a Rebel T7. I just started. I'm doing sports. Cool, man. Cool. What lens do you have? Yeah, very cool. By the way, for you guys over on YouTube or TikTok, I am multi-streaming, so I got two different cameras going. Yesterday, actually, I did build out a little thing. Let's see that I can show you. Actually, I did add a new lens today. The cameras that I'm using today are these three, but I swapped out this lens. So what I need to do is go over here and say Sigma. I'm actually using my favorite lens now, 16mm f1.4. Camera looks good, man. Appreciate it, bro. 75 to 300, classic. Yeah, that's a classic lens right here. If you guys are curious in what lens I'm currently using, on TikTok, I'm using the 23mm. If you guys happen to be curious, some of you guys are usually curious. Yeah, so I'm currently using this guy. Yeah, on YouTube, I'm using this. And actually, this is what YouTube looks like right now for you guys that are curious. This is the wide angle that I'm looking at over on YouTube, and then TikTok. You YouTube guys won't see this, but it's a 23mm. It's this guy and this lens right here, 23 with an R10. Let's see. I'm still trying to dial mine in. What are you trying to dial in, Phantom of the mic? 51.2. Nice. 51.2. Sick, dude. Are you using OBS and then projected to TikTok? Yeah, so I'm using OBS and then I'm sending a virtual camera over to TikTok. And then I'm multi-streaming. Hey, look, a new highlight. Allow auto post. Sure. Post. TikTok has a new, because TikTok likes you to use their TikTok Live Studio, which is fine. Post. Video posted. If you guys are curious what lens I'm using right now, it is on TikTok. What you guys see is a 23mm plus an R10. Really, really nice combo. That's what gives you this kind of like a little bit of compression, you know. I think it's a really nice one. Looks nice. Appreciate it. If I film a DJ set, what lens should I get? Depends on how far you are, man. I've had a couple of people that are asking about filming their own DJ sets, which is kind of awesome. You know, I never realized that was like, being a content creator is cool, man. You can literally, whatever your hobby is, you guys can like make something out of it, which is fantastic. Currently running a 35mm. Ooh, that's a nice one. 35 on a full frame, Lady Vengeance. On a full frame or a crop sensor? I think my softbox is too close to my face, but I don't have room, so maybe a smaller one. What size is your softbox? You could also get a panel. You could also get a panel. Everybody that's joining over on a TikTok, hello, hello. We are just getting started. Feel free to chime in on the conversation. If you happen to have any questions, I'll try to get to them. Right now, I just started streaming, so the questions should be coming in here pretty fast. Would you recommend a Viltrox 56 1.2 for the Fujifilm? Is the X-T5 a full frame or a crop sensor? Remind me. You just got to remember the crop factor, really. X-T5. I think a lot of people forget about that, because if it's a crop sensor, yeah, it is a crop sensor. Just keep in mind the crop factor, really. Question over on YouTube: Canon R50V versus R10 for video. Which one is Canon R50V is better for video for sure. I want to get into sports photography, but I have an old Sony Nex and a Sony 75-300. Is it doable? It'll take pictures of sports, Dawson, if that's what you're asking. Just use what you got, guys. Use what you got, you know, and then later see what you need to upgrade, or if you even need to upgrade, you know. Is the Canon R6 Mark I still good for photography camera for sports? Yep, yes it is. I got a Canon R7 and wanted to do portraits, so I want to get an 85mm. Any brand recs? You can check out the Canon RF 85mm f2. That one's really nice. Sports photography for $200 budget. You don't have a lot of options, bud. I would get whatever you can get for $200. Any comments on the Fujifilm X-T50? I was looking at the X-T50 the other day. It looked really good. Yeah, it looked really good. I like it a lot. Fuji X-T50. These cameras are really, really cool. Anything from Fujifilm, dude, is like really cool looking. 40 megapixels. Yeah. I saw one. It was the XM5 that can shoot in like open gate. I was like, wow, 6.230. I don't know if this is open gate, but it sounds like it's open gate. Over in the YouTube world, hello, hello. How are ya? How are ya? We got 5 viewers over on the YouTubes. Oh, TikTok is good. Have you used any filters from Prism FX about to buy the macro attachment? I have used Prism FX. Which one do I have? I forget. I do have one of them. It's the Moody filter, I think. Moody Prism. I forget, but it's a super starbursty one. Yeah. I like Prism FX. They're a little expensive, but they're nice. Bro, you want to get 2 cameras? Bro, you want to get 2 cameras? I everyday Fuji XM5. XM5 to everyday of Fujifilm is cool, man. Definitely. Yo, I'm doing... Oh, comment from YouTube. Hello, YouTube. How's it going? How is it going? Yo, I'm doing full system switch from my old Canon to hopefully an A7 IV with a Tamron 50-500. Okay, Samyang. Sounds cool. The real Skeb. Phantom of the mic. I have a Godox 60 with a 35-inch softbox. 35-inch. What does that look like? I mean, 35-inch sounds pretty good, but why do you think... Can you lower the power? If you can lower the power, I would try that first. If you can't, then I would try, because the smaller that you get the softbox, the harsher the light's gonna be. So there is that, right? So you do have to consider that. And maybe later a TT Artisan 11mm fisheye for more creative stuff. Sounds like you got a nice kit, Real Scab, over on YouTube. Yes, it's good, but AF is 75%. Best low light camera under 5K. Probably the FX3. Hi, should I buy a Sony 6400 as my first camera? You should. A7C4 or the 6700? I'd probably go for the full frame. What camera is this? On TikTok, the camera that I am using is... What is it? I got it right here. On TikTok, you guys are watching me with a 23mm and a Canon R10. This angle over here is... It's a little bit wider if you notice. This is the YouTube view. And this is a 16mm R50. All in standard profile. And then I have this top-down shot, which is a Canon R50V. And you guys can see my kit and my gear, and I can do some stuff here, you know, some top-down shots. Show you guys products and stuff. Why do you think the FX3 is better than the... Well, both of them have the same sensor. But I think the FX3 is a better filming camera, if that's what you're going for. If you need photos, I would probably get the A7S III. Also, I think that the A7S III and the FX3 are about to get a refresh this year. So, blowing out my face. Yeah, your power is too high, bro. Your power is too high. Like, for example, right now I have this key light that's right here that you guys can't see. But if I go to my app and I turn this up, like, my stuff doesn't immediately blow me out, but you saw that there was a change there. And this is a 100 watt, but I have mine like pretty low, like at 30-40%. And it just gives me just a kiss of light, but mine is up far. $20 off the remote? Damn. What's up, YouTube? 7 viewers over on the YouTube channel. How you guys doing? Thanks for stopping in. The way that this works, guys, I'm just answering basic questions that you guys may have. Appreciate a follow and a subscribe, but if you guys have any questions about cameras, feel free to ask in the comments. We'll try to get to as many as possible. Earlier, I had a question about the XT50, which is surprisingly a really nice camera, dude. 40 megapixels on this. I don't know how it is on low light, though. I'd be curious about that. I've never personally used it, but, you know, most of the time, your guys' questions are more about, like, looking for permission as to, like, hey, should I buy this camera? Chances are, if you got the money, you probably should. You know what I mean? Is that an FX3? Is this camera an FX3? No, this is not an FX3, dude. This is a... Keep in mind, guys, that I'm reading chat from 2 platforms, TikTok and YouTube right now. YouTube is always quiet, so I always try to encourage you guys. Hey, what are you guys shooting on? What lenses? Do you guys create content? Are you guys photographers? What do you guys do? So let me know in the comments, the YouTube comments. FX3. 6 viewers over there. Okay. This is the FX3. Woo-wee. Look at this bad boy, man. God damn. Sony ZV-E 10-2 or a 64 or 67 or Canon R50V. Depends on what you want to do. What is it that you want to do? I don't even know how to say your name, Flexi Arm. Yeah, what are you guys trying to do? So if you guys let me know what camera you're thinking about and what you actually want to do, because, you know, it's a dead giveaway how much of a normie you are and how much of a noob you are when you don't even let me know what you guys are even doing. Photography, videography, sports, astro, real estate, streaming, content creation, reels, social media. You know, what is it that you want to do? What's a good software to color grade video? DaVinci Resolve. DaVinci Resolve. That camera with the top handle, what is that? Oh, this camera right here. This camera right here, guys. Let's go over. This is a, oh, can you guys see that? Oh, probably not. Oh, you know what? I should change that over on YouTube. Top down. Here we go. This is a C50. A Canon C50. This is actually my dream camera. I bought this brand new the day that it came out in December. It's an FX3 killer. Don't let the Sony fanboys hear me say that, because they'll be all grumpy. Yeah, I'll show you guys right here. Let's see. Duplicate. This is the Canon C50. This bad boy right here. Videos 95, 5% photos. Either the ZVE 10, actually the 6700 is probably the best camera out of all those right there, for sure. Yeah, if you want to do 95% video, the 6700 is a great camera overall. It's the best, one of the best crop sensor cameras that Sony has. What's a good software to color grade? DaVinci Resolve. I have a question. What's a good lens for live streaming on TikTok with a Sony ZVE 10 II? The 16mm, that's this lens right here. This lens right here, guys. This is what you want. Either the 16mm, which is what you guys see right here. This is the 16 right here. You can see it's like a little bit wider. So this is a 16mm, really nice. And then over here I have a 23mm, but this is set up vertically. The cameras are about the exact same distance from each other, but you can see I'm a little bit more punched in on this one. This is a 23. And then over here I'm on a, so it just depends on what look you want. I really like the 23, but keep in mind that I have the orientation of the camera set up a little bit differently. Guys, if you are brand new here and haven't followed yet or subscribed, please consider doing so. Really appreciate it. That includes you guys over on the YouTube world. It's super, super duper helpful. I'm still trying to figure out how to do this whole dual multi-streaming thing, so I'm trying to get as much practice as I can, and I do that just by going live as often as I can and navigating the stream decks and just trying to learn through the process, right? I'm a DJ and I want to buy some cameras for videos and pictures to do my content. Sick, bro. What camera are you thinking, Frayne? 10% photo, 9% videos. Is the A7 III a good budget? It is a good budget. It's definitely 50-50 though. Hybrid shooter here. Hybrid shooter here, but my focus is video. Had the R50, but considering the ZVE 10 or the 6400. Check out the R50V, man. R50V is sick. And it'll save you some money too. Not the ZVE 10-1, definitely not. 10% photo, you already answered. What's your rec? Brian, what do you think I do? Buy professional cameras, Xiaomi 17 Ultra phone? What do you think? Do I buy a professional camera? If you want to create content, you guys got to get a camera, not a phone. Would you prepare using proper camera lens or manual lens on your C50? Would you prepare using proper camera lens or manual lens for your C? I've just been using autofocus RF lenses for my C50. I don't know really what camera. You got to do some research, Frayne. Hey, sir, what about Sony A7S III with a 20? Do it. Comme il faut. Do it. Thanks, man. Appreciate the help. You got it, man. You got it. Yeah, Frayne, if you're in the early stages of creating content and not knowing what the hell you want to do, man, you got to start somewhere, right? So like what is it? What kind of environment? Where do you see yourself? So think of it this way. You probably are watching content or you know of content creators that you observe and like are fan of that create similar content to the kind of content that you want to make, right? So I would first start by seeing what kind of cameras they use, what kind of focal lengths they're using, and then just work backwards from there and see what's in my price range that is comparable to the type of content that they're creating. Does that make sense? That's what I would do. That's how everybody does it, for real, for real. Comment over from YouTube. Hello, YouTube. Robsidian. Canon R6 or Sony A7 III or Nikon Z6 II for mostly photos, but a little bit of videos. I would probably do... At that point, bro, you're just picking the brand. Definitely between the Canon or the Sony. I would leave the Nikon in the dust. I don't know because they made that phone that has the best camera right now, the European market. Yeah, so if you want to use a phone, feel free to use a phone. I would never use a phone for content creation. At least anything that looks, you know, I have created content with a phone, but it's not my primary way that I make content. On TikTok, I do use my phone a lot, but for actually like creating shots, I guess what I'm trying to say is like, if you want to use a phone, use a phone. That's what you want to do. I'm not going to talk you out of it. I will tell you that a phone will never, ever look like a proper camera, though. But I don't have money for the 17 Pro Max. Why do you hate zoom lenses? I don't hate zoom lenses. I definitely don't hate zoom lenses. I dislike zoom lenses that have variable apertures, though. If you want to go check on YouTube that phone, what it can do, it can't do what a camera can do, bro. I already know that. It's physically impossible. Like the physics. It just can't do it. But it sounds also like I'm not here to convince you outside of what you've already decided for yourself. If you want to get the Xiaomi Chinese phone that you want, then get it. Then get it. What's the whole thing with Nikon? Nothing. Just Nikon is just poop, you know? It's pretty much it. Can you help me decide what camera should I sell? What camera you should sell? I don't know if I can. What cameras do you have? Yeah, that's what it is. Why editing can fix that? 67 bro, 67. 67 is nice, yeah. And what camera do you prefer that's not above $1,000? The R50V. The R50V, that's a really nice one. For sure. I look at that. I have 2 of those cameras. Also, if you guys aren't in a place to like invest this kind of money, don't. You know, these things aren't necessities. These things are what's it called? They're luxuries, you know, unless you're a professional content creator like some of us in here. You don't really need anything fancy. A cell phone is how most people start, you know. What camera and lens are you using right now? Over on TikTok, I am using the Canon R10 and the 23mm Sigma. I'm using this lens with this camera. And then over on YouTube, I'm using, this is the view over on YouTube. I'm using a R50 with a 16mm f1.4. Guys, if you are interested in any of the gear that I actually am currently using, feel free to pop over to my link in bio, and you guys can see all of the gear in my storefront. And my storefront just looks like this, and you guys will be able to see all of the lenses, all of the cameras, all of the accessories. I even here, I have a Sony ZV-E10 II that I rigged out, and I have all of the accessories here for you to just pick. This link can be found, you guys, in TikTok in my link in bio, right around here on my face, just link in bio. And then on YouTube, it's the first link that is in the description. Hey man, how's it going? It's going good, buddy. It's going good. Do you think Canon is going to open their mount for third-party full-frame lenses? Probably to Sigma. Probably to Sigma first, but it probably won't be for a while, man. Their green flare line showing on the TikTok view. Yeah, there's probably a flare here. I don't know what that's from. I'm not really too concerned about it. The cameras I don't use anymore are not worth much, so I'm like, nah, I'll keep them. GH5 works great, but looks awful. Has a hairline in the viewfinder. S5 II, perfect condition. Well, I'd sell the ones you don't use, man. That's what I would do. Sometimes they're not even worth selling, though. You know, they're just, sometimes you can give them, the cameras that I don't use, I've given away to family members, and they've been so grateful and thankful that it's like really, really cool, because now I get to see great pictures of my nieces and nephews, you know. Your setup looks good. Thank you, Jeb Josh. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Is the Sony A64 good for sports? Yeah. Yeah, 100%. It's not a top-of-the-line camera, but it's fine for sports, 100%. Sony ZV-E10 II or Sony A7 V? Tony, what do you think is the answer to that question, broski? What do you think? How do you do your lighting? My lighting right now, I have a Elgato cam light. I forget what this is called. An Elgato cam light right here. That's giving me this little bit of kick right now. And I have it at 8%. I can tune it up, and then it brightens my whole face up. But I have it like super, super low, just to give me a little bit of kick. And then I have a big light right here that is a 60-watt light. Do I have my kit here? I forget if I have my kit here. Let's take a look. Canon cameras. I need to add them. No, I don't have them here. I should add them. I'll do that one day. But the lights that I'm using are the Zhiyun light. It's this one is the 60 RGB. Let's see. Let's see if I can find it. Is it this one? Nope. This one? Nope. Nope, nope, nope. Zhiyun has come up with some new stuff lately. It looks like this, but it's not this one. Let's see if I can find it. 60 watt. 60 watt. Yeah, this one right here. I have this one, RGB. So this light is the one that's here in front of me. I have it set to cool. I can set it to any color. And then behind me, I don't know if you guys can see on this angle, that light way back there, that is this one right here. And then I have some tube lights as well. And that's pretty much my light setup for this. Oh, and then that's an Amaran light right there. What do you think about the Canon R5C? Is it overkill for vlogging? Planning to buy? No, I mean, it's heavy. It's heavy. You'd probably need like a 16mm to vlog with that camera. But if that's the look, if you want like a really, really great camera for vlogging, no. How much can you find the R5C for right now? The R5C. $2,000. If you can afford it, chances are that you're not going to just use this camera for, yeah, so MPB has it for 24. Brand new, it's still $3K. I think it's a little expensive brand new still, because there's probably a better option than this for this money. Maybe. It's a great camera though, with the internal fan. Yeah, this is a monster camera. Definitely a good camera. What camera are you using? On TikTok, guys, I am using a Canon R10. That is this, what you're watching me here. And then over on YouTube, I have this angle up here on an R50. That's this setup right here. So an R10 on TikTok, and then an R50 over on the YouTubes. That's not horrible. Oh, I got a YouTube comment. Let's see. That's not horrible. I'm friends with a filmmaker who mains the R5C, and he. Oh yeah, no, it's great. 45 megapixels on a cinema camera is pretty crazy, you know. What was the lens for the Sony ZV-E? I have lenses that came with the camera, which is, yeah, that lens is Buns, Phantom of the Mic. Yeah, the lenses that I like for that I recommend is, let me see, can I find it here? Where do I have it? I need to keep one of these tabs open. Let's see, I'll just open up a new one. I have it in my link in bio, so if you're on YouTube or TikTok, you can find it in my link in bio. But it's the Sure lenses right here. The Sure lenses are nice, these ones right here. I have the whole kit. This one. I have the C70, and while the sensor is great, I'm kind of sick of it not being full frame. Yeah, who is that? RBR Tevens? Yeah, I got the C50, and the C50 is nice. I can't wait to have opportunities to use it more, you know? What if I just need one, though? You can buy them individually. They sell them individually. They just sell them in kits, but you can buy these individually. Individually, they're like 200 bucks. They're really cheap. They're pretty inexpensive. But yeah, they have other variations of this. They sell them like this, like individually, right? So here you can pick the 16, the 23. The 23 is really nice. I love the 16 and the 23. The other three I haven't used as much. Dude, if you have EF glass, get an old C100 or C300. They're so nice to use, and you can find some for like 300 USD. Ooh, that's interesting. A C100? Yeah, that'd be kind of cool. That'd be kind of cool, because that'd be super cheap, you know, to get like an old cinema camera. ZV-E10 or Fujifilm. For photos, are you doing photos, Mar? Or are you doing 7 viewers on the YouTubes? Hey, YouTube. What's up, YouTube? Everybody on TikTok, say hi to YouTube. Mar, thank you for the gifts. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Yeah, Mar, let me know. Are you doing photos or are you doing primarily videos? Mar, both, but mainly video. Can you swing for the ZV-E10 II? I would recommend the ZV-E10 II, not the 1. Definitely not the 1. The 1 is just a little too old. What did you say? The XS10? Fuji XS10. Let's check that one out. Yeah, if you're at this price point, ooh, this one has a viewfinder. The thing is, with me and Fuji's, here's the thing. With me and Fuji's, I rarely think of Fuji's, especially at this price point, as like video cameras. Like, I just don't. Ooh, look at this. This has IBIS. Ooh. Dude, I might get this, bro. And you get a viewfinder too. And it's a Fuji. I might go for the Fuji, bro. With a viewfinder plus IBIS, that's really the ZV-E10 II doesn't have IBIS. 10 viewers on YouTube. Hello. Oh wait, I have sound effects, guys. Let me see. Oh wait, that's the wrong. My bad. Is there a clapping one? Yeah. Wow. Now I have 8 viewers. Damn. Guys, the way that this works is I'm just answering as many questions as they come in. Feel free to jump into the conversation. If you notice any questions in the chats that you might be able to answer, feel free to answer them. As long as you guys aren't assholes to each other, it's all good. I'm trying to answer as many as I can right now, but we're just coming through. Hey, the ZV-10 Mark II for filmmaking is good. It is good, dude, for sure. I'm about to start my street and car photography. Suggest me a good camera, sir. How much money do you have, Alish? How much money do you have, sir? Why Canon over Sony? Because Canon is number one. That's why. If you guys don't believe me, I'll prove it to you. I'll prove it to you right now. You see this right here? You see? Canon number one, based on a Canon survey. I don't make the rules, guys. I don't make the rules. Canon is number one, and you can't even argue with that. AI generated? No, this is from the Canon. I mean, it might be generated, but this is from the official Canon account. Canon USA with a check mark, so you know this shit's official, bro. You can't argue with this, man. Can you come up with a Sony one from the Sony official account that says Sony is number one? I bet you can't. I bet you can't. I'm just playing. I just like Canon though. Canon and Sony are all great, man. Sony is more expensive for the bodies, but they have cheaper lenses for the E-mount, you know, so there is that. There is that. Comment over on YouTube. This one is saying, let's see what it said. Let's see if I can find it over here. I'm trying to. What would be the best camera for around 1,000 to 1,100 used? Depends on what you want to do, Robsidian. What camera are you looking at, man? What are your latest jobs? I work full time as a content creator for a firm here in my city, so that's what I do full time. I create content for them, and then my freelance stuff. Guys can check out my Instagram. That's also linked in my bio right here. My Instagram, everything's there. My YouTube channel, all of that stuff. Feel free to check it out. Do some freelance stuff, some creative stuff, whatever pays the bills. Robsidian gimbal, handheld, tripod, audio. Hi, I'm starting out, maybe a videographer, and I'm looking into buying a ZV-E10 or a 6700. I'd probably get the 6700. That's like, I think, a nicer hybrid. I have a Canon R50. How comes Insta always ruins my quality? I don't know, West. Instagram always does pretty well with my stuff. Yeah, Instagram always does well with my stuff. Where is my... Here it is. Let me move this over. What is your opinion on the R50? I love the R50. The R50 is great. The R50 is great. This is the R50 on TikTok. This is the view that YouTube is seeing right now. This angle. I'm using a 16 millimeter. A 16 millimeter. Maybe I should take this off. Should I take this off? Make it simpler. Let's see. Let me lower this down. Oh, hold on. Because you guys don't want to see the bottom. Let me lower this down a little bit. You know what I'll do? I'll just add another thing here. Which one will be the video window capture? No. Browser? No. Display. Samsung main. No, that's not it. I'll just delete that. delete, remove. Yes. We'll just leave it like this for now. I'll fiddle with it this weekend. I plan to like optimize a lot of my stuff here to try to create a nicer looking image. We'll just leave it like that. So this is the view that's over on, this is the R50 with a 16 millimeter. And then this is an R10 over on TikTok. Greetings from South America. Busy editing pictures while listening. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. I'm saving up for the R50 Mark II. Does the R50 Mark II exist? R6 Mark II. Sick, bro. R6 Mark II. Preferably handheld, but still full frame. Mark II. Nice, nice. Are you reviewing accounts right now? I am not. I'm looking at the R6, A7 III, and Z6. I'd probably, it's either between the R6 or the A7 III, broski. Listen, guys, what I do when I'm like comparing cameras is that I go to B&H. I go to B&H. I type in Canon R6, right? Canon R6, and then I add it to compare, right? And then I go to Sony A7 III, right? You said? A7 III. Add it to compare, and then the last one was what? Z6 Nikon. Yeah, I already told you the Nikon. Leave the Nikon out of this, dude. The Nikon is Nikon Z6. What is it? 2. Ooh, the Nikon's the cheapest one here. And then hit compare, and now you get to see all 3 cameras side by side. This is literally what I do when I'm comparing cameras. You know. Ooh, look at this. The Sony's cheap too. This Sony A7 III is a little bit older though. I probably wouldn't. Oh, you said R6, the first one. My bad, my bad. Let's get rid of this one. Canon R6. You want the R6 Mark I. That makes more sense. They might not even have it here anymore, huh? Yeah, they might not even sell it. Can we even find it on here? Ooh, probably not. Canon R6. Interesting. So they don't even make it anymore. Well, I mean, for like to sell like brand new. Are any of these? So the Mark I is still great, and it definitely is right on line with the. It's about $1,500, so they all cost about the same. Now that I remember, because the R6 Mark I definitely costs about $1,500. Yeah, so it's still cheaper than the Sony A7 III. Same megapixels, both have 24. I would choose between the Sony A7 III or, you know, the A7 III doesn't, it has a tilty screen, right? So that's another issue. It has a flip up screen. It doesn't have a flip up screen. 12 viewers on YouTube. What up, YouTube? How's it going? What do you think of the FX30? I just planning on buying it. Nice, dude. Yeah, I think I would choose the Canon R6 Mark I. That screen is much nicer. It's also really good in low light too. Just about to upgrade from an A6000 to A7C2. Is this a good move? It is a good move. Burrow MZ1097. Hell yeah. 12 viewers on YouTube. What's the sound effect? What sound effect? Wow. Look at that, you guys. Amazing. FX3 is nice. I use it a lot, but the G87 is 10 times better. Really? Do you really think so? What about the G87? Let's see. G87. Let's look at that. I don't know, man. I definitely would go Sony, dude. The Micro Four Thirds. Look at this little rinky-dinky sensor, dude. I would go with the Sony for sure. Are these the same right here? Look at that little rinky-dinky sensor. Why do we say it's better? 4K 60, 422 10-bit. Okay, okay. ProRes. Ooh. 32-bit float. Ooh. Yo, this Lumix might be better. Lumix is a powerhouse, man. Lumix is really coming up. I'm really, really surprised by it. You might have a point there, buddy. But I don't know, man. I don't think you'd ever be able to convince a Sony fanboy that the Lumix is better. You know what I mean? Lumix, like the S5 II and the S5 IIX and the S1R, those are sick cameras, dude. So, Micro Four Thirds is almost like APS-C sensor size is overrated. Yo, do you think I can stream on a ZV-E1? You can stream on a ZV-E1, yeah. I have a Canon R6 Mark II. Thoughts? Canon R6 Mark II is fucking fire, dude. Great camera. Over on the YouTube side of the chat, hello. What do you guys currently film on? What do you guys currently create? Are you guys content creators? Are you guys streamers? Are you guys trying to be photographers, videographers? How about this? Does anybody, TikTok or YouTube, does anybody here make money with their camera? Thank you for the follow. Thank you for the follow. YouTube guys, if you guys can consider giving this channel a sub, that would be greatly appreciated. Let's see. I work with Sony all the time, and when you know all the features, the GX7 and the S1, you're like, always, damn, there's no point. No, dude, for real, Lumix is really, really impressive, man. I almost last year bought a Lumix, but I decided not to. Only because I wanted to save up my gold coins for the Lumix S1R. I think that camera is fucking ridiculous, dude. Lumix S1R. I think it was this one. Yeah, this guy. For $3,000, holy shit, boys. For $3,000, this camera right here looks incredible, dude. Incredible for 3K. Is it worth? I work in sports broadcast. Biggest events in already got the nice, dude. Congratulations. Is it worth to upgrade to the 16 and 35 G Master 2 when you already got the? I don't think so. Unless you're missing something. Unless your lens is broken, I wouldn't upgrade. My name's Dustin Robinson. Forever on Facebook. Okay. Thoughts on the Canon R50 for R50 is fantastic. R50 is great. This view right here, guys, this is the R50 paired with the what is it? Paired with the 16 millimeter. Fuck, got all my buttons. I need to color my buttons differently. I'm getting used to this whole streamer thing. What's this one? There we go. We'll do that one. 13 viewers over on YouTube. Hello, YouTube world. The S1R has something special. The color rendition is better for anything else. I don't know why what magic they applied. I wanted to buy one. Yeah, the S1R looks really great, man. I've been eyeballing it for a little while. I almost bought the S5 IIX, but then I saw this one. I was like, ooh, maybe I'll save my money and just go for the top. You know what I mean? I'm trying to learn C-Log, but it's so hard. You just got to keep practicing, DMR. The way that you get better at shooting in log footage and coloring is just by doing it more. You know, one of the things that I've run into and that I've kind of noticed is that people that are just getting started don't know what to film. And what I say to those guys when they're thinking of like brainstorming something, just start with like a simple coffee video or a tea video or making breakfast, just something like that, and like keep that theme. And why it's important to do that is because why that's like a bonus is because likely you make breakfast every single day. You get ready every single day, so you can repeat the same things and try your camera angles in different perspectives, set it up in different spots. So like whenever I'm testing out a new camera or practicing, you guys will never see this footage, but I do it while I'm making coffee or making breakfast, because I do the same thing every single day, right? So I can practice my color grading, I can practice my composition, my lighting, all kinds of shit. So what is the line near my face? Oh, this line right here? I actually don't know. I think it's a reflection of something. I don't know where it's coming from. I haven't really cared to figure it out, but it's definitely like, yeah, it goes away. So it's a reflection of something. I don't know what though. When I figured it out, I'll probably remove it, but I feel like it's always there. Is it this? It might be this thing. Yeah, it's this thing. So I guess I could like move it. I'm not really too interested to solve it. Hello, hello. A glare or lighting. Yeah, Big Tex J. What up, Big Tex J? Yeah, it's a glare of something. Josh, a Cam FX30, but a Cam ZV-E10. I do weddings. Eyeing the FX3. Get the FX3, Josh. FX3 for sure. S1R is the best if you want amazing colors and skin tones. Don't care much about the slow-mo. Yeah, I'd like the open gate for my workflow, really. Open gate on the R6 III and the C50 came in clutch this past project. Thank you for the heart, me. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. You got a YouTube comment. Let's see. YouTube. Can't go wrong with Sony if you don't need full-size HDMI and stuff. Why not the ZV-E1? ZV-E1 is nice. Yeah, ZV-E1 is nice. But if you're looking for like some pro features, just get the FX3. If it's in your budget, you know. Wanderer. I want one camera that can do photography, video, travel, content creation. How much? What kind of a budget do you have, Wanderer? Yeah, what kind of budget are you looking at? I shoot portrait. Should I upgrade from the 64 to the 67? If you really want to, what are the difference between the 64 and the 67? You get IBIS, a couple other things maybe, bigger battery. Is it the same battery or is it a bigger battery? Photo plus video content creation. Yeah, MC Ron McRon. One of the things that I'm learning about answering people's questions is that they already know, you guys already know what camera you want to buy because you know what your budget is. And you guys never freely offer what your budget is. It's like, ooh, like I don't want him to know how much money I have. Like, bro, how am I supposed to consider you a camera? Because I would say like an R6 Mark III, but I don't know if you want to spend $3,000, right? Appreciate the follow, Destroyer. I do agree with your recommendation generally, though. Different dynamic range. I didn't have a budget for an FX3, but an A7S III instead. Nice. That's a good choice. YouTube. Hello, YouTube. Wow. I need to do more with these sound effects, guys. I'm confused between a Sony A67 and ZV-E10 Mark II. I'm not sure spending the money on the IBIS. Weather sealing. You should get the 6700. If you have the money, get the 6700. And your investment is not going to be future proof. It will be outdated, or it'll get old by the time that the new one comes out. So, but every camera has a life of like 5 years. But even when the new model comes out, your 6700 is going to be plenty good still. You know what I mean? Budget is the only question. It'd be more interesting to help people with super tight budgets because we're starting to have amazing cameras. Yeah, it is. In my TikTok, Micron, in my TikTok and in my YouTubes, there's a lot of budget creators, but also I'm trying to tailor my audience and the people that like interact with people that start off as like, hey, I'm curious, I'm camera curious. Let me see. Do I have one? Camera curious. That eventually want to take their content a little bit more seriously, whether it's like content creation or getting paid by clients and stuff like that. So like I'm trying to curate that audience. It'll take some time to get there, but people that are in the super duper low budgets are usually like sports photographers that are in high school that are charging like $10 a photo. You know what I mean? That don't understand a lot of things. I don't know. My budget is kind of open, not tight. I'll save up if it's a higher. Prefer Fuji, to be honest. Okay, cool. What Fuji are you looking at, Wanderer? That's another thing, Micron, is that most people already know what camera they're looking at. They're just looking for permission to like buy it. You know what I mean? Again, I've been helping hundreds of people through portfolio reviews, through lives like this, and all that stuff. By the way, if you guys are interested in this kind of lives, let me know down in the comments. Also, you can let me know by following, double tapping the likes, especially on TikTok, because the likes are super helpful. And on YouTube, if you guys can drop a little heart or an emoji, that's also really appreciated. Currently multi-streaming and trying to do both things at one time. So you guys get to peek behind the curtains on how the sausage is made. Just trying to get better and better. I'm doing more photos than videos. That's great, man. I don't get how the 55 to 250 millimeter is a kit lens. Did it come with a kit lens? Did it come with a kit? And is it a variable aperture lens? If it did, then it's a kit lens. Yes, true. The XS20 Fuji. I'm searching any candidates you know. Yeah, I got you, bro. Let's see. Let's check out that camera. You said the Fuji XS20. Excuse me. Let's take a look at it, man. $1,400, 26 APS-C image stabilized. Bro, this is a monster camera, dude. It has 5-axis IBIS, 26 megapixels, 6K. I don't know if this is open gate. Is this Micron? You'd probably know. Is this open gate, bro? I guess open gate on a crop sensor is a little different than open gate on a full frame, right? But open gate is open gate, right? Nikon ZR versus the FX3. At this point, I would probably go Nikon ZR. I would probably go Nikon ZR for sure. How do I feel about OpenGate? I think generally all right, so I'll talk about my use case specifically. OpenGate for my content that I create for my full-time job, which is interviews, is super duper helpful. Where I think OpenGate, like people really fuck it up is that, or like obsess over it or hate on it, is because most people, in my opinion, don't know how to utilize it in their workflow just yet because it's so foreign to them. So they're trying to come up with problems in their workflows that don't exist to justify the use of OpenGate. But if you have genuinely, like for example, in my interview section, so imagine this is my interview section and I film, this is an OpenGate right now. This is just like a 19 by 16 or whatever. In OpenGate, this is a little bit taller. So if I'm interviewing somebody and I'm interviewing them and filming them at the exact same time, I can have a nice YouTube video, horizontal, if that's a word. horizontal, and then I can also crop it for like tall, right? But some people don't even need that workflow, so they're trying to like force it on themselves, which is why it's like not ideal. In my opinion, you can't beat the value of the secondhand S5 2X. How much is yeah, that Lumix, how much is it used? Let's look at that. Lumix S5 2. Let's see what the used. I bet you the used price is crazy. Yeah, that's pretty great, man. Let me see if I can find a MPB link. Is it over here on MPB? MPB. For those of you guys that are brand new here, welcome to the chat. Ooh, dude. Yeah, man. $1,400, $1,500. For those of you guys that are brand new here in this live, welcome. All I do here is try to answer as many questions as possible regarding the cameras that you guys might be interested in. I try to help you with purchasing decisions. If you guys are into that, make sure you continue double tapping your screen, and I try to answer as many as I can. The comments do come in pretty quick. If I see that you gifted, I do prioritize those questions, and I spend a little bit more time on whatever it is that you're trying to solve for. Also, check out all of the gear that I currently use in the link in bio, if that's something that you're into as well. This is found down up here in my link in bio. It's my Amazon storefront. I made a Sony ZV-E10 II rig, and you can find it right here under this category here. Everything that I use to create a Sony ZV-E rig. If you like Sonys, there's also some other stuff here about all the gear that I use in general. If you're curious about the camera gear that I'm currently using right now, this is it right now. On TikTok, I'm using a Canon R10 paired with a 23mm Sigma f1.4. Let me stop right here. Actually, let me clip this. Let me clip this shit right here. All right, let's see. What should I say? What I want to say is, where am I center? What I want to say is, if you have a crop sensor camera, you need to check out the Sigma RF lenses, the Sigma crop sensor lenses. Yeah, let me clip that. If you own any crop sensor camera from Nikon, Fuji, Canon, or Sony, the best lenses, in my opinion, are the Sigma crop sensor lenses. They have a 12mm, a 16mm. They just released a 15mm. 23 is actually what you're looking at me right now with. They're all f1.4. They also have a 30 and a 56. Any of these lenses are spectacular on the APS-C sensor. Check them out. Boom. 30 seconds. File, show recordings, and we'll drop that real quick. I have my OBS set up, guys, so that I can just like grab the screen recording that I just did. Captures, is it this one? Uh-oh, I hope it's saved. Did it save? Oh, it's right here. And then I can send it to my phone, and then I can just post it. There it is. Simple as that. Caster Labs. Bought the whole kit. Ooh, the 15. I wanted to check out the 15. I have a lot of the 16s. I have like 3 of them. Yeah, 3. I have one for Sony. I have 1 and 2 for Canon. The 16 is my favorite, one of my favorites. But the 23, the one that you guys are watching me on TikTok, is really, really fucking nice, man. Really nice. I also have the zooms too. The zooms are really nice. McRon, thanks for hanging out, man. Appreciate it. Have a blessed night. Thanks for hanging out with us, man. Do I have an applause? No, I don't. Damn, I don't think I have an applause. I need to get an applause. I'll add that actually. Add applause sound. We'll add that next time. What's the best compact camera for $140? I have no idea. $140, bro. That's a tight budget, man. That's a tight budget. Probably just stick with your cell phone. Good day, brother, from PNG. What's PNG? Fire receipt. There it is. Cool. Papua New Guinea. Got it. Got it. Yo, yo, old poopy legs. What up? What up, old poopy legs from YouTube? How are you, man? Hey, YouTube is a lot more popular today than normally. 8 viewers. Yesterday I had like a couple. Today I'm like peaking at like 12. I don't have an applause. Do I have one? No, I don't. Yo, I have a total budget of 1K. What camera and lens do you recommend for portrait and car photography? Probably like a Canon R50 with a 23mm or a 16mm lens. I would probably do R50 or the equivalent of the Sony one. So I would do this one. I would do this. And then body only, and then the lens that I would buy is either it's the exact kit that I have over here actually, the Sigma, or if you need something that with some versatility, I would get this one, the Sigma 18-50. And I think you're probably a little over, actually you can buy it used for 500. You might be a little over your budget. But I would get this and then this in the RF mount. So I would get this lens, 600. Yeah, you're about 1200, unfortunately. I think it's worth it though. I bought the Lumix S5 II. Sick. Yeah. Who is that? Tank 2 Exotic? Yeah, I would get this, or I would get the Sony equivalent to the R50. That's exactly what I would buy. Yes, sir. David, what do you think of the Lumix S5 II, bro? Let the chat know, man. Old Poopy Legs, I stumbled onto your TikTok. Appreciate your vibe, energy, and knowledge. Appreciate it, Old Poopy Legs. Thanks for visiting on YouTube, man. If you haven't subscribed, consider doing so. I'm also looking for like content ideas. So if you have any video ideas for me that I can make, let me know. If it's worth, then yeah, most definitely get that. Thank you. God bless. Yeah, I have this lens. I have this combo, the RF 18-50. Really, really nice. I'm using an R50V for this angle right here with the 10-18, and this is a really nice. My desk is a little dark, so that's why you see a little bit of grain. But as soon as I add some light, it like brightens up, you know. But my setup here is kind of intentionally dark for this angle. But I just use this as a top down. On TikTok, you guys are watching me on the R10 with the Sigma 23. That's this one. And then over on YouTube, you guys are watching me on the R50 with the 16 millimeter. That's this one. So right now I got 2 cameras going, one up here and then another one over here. R10, 23 millimeter. And this is the R50 with the 16 millimeter. Those 2 lenses are probably my favorite out of the whole Sigma kit, you guys. They are fantastic. I currently have a Canon R50 with an EF72. Nice, bro. What should I get? You should get to work, Wazy. You don't need nothing, bro. What do you do? What do you about the GH5 or the GH5 II for YouTube? I don't know those cameras. The GH5. I just saw somebody talking about it though. The GH5. Did somebody say about that? Was I looking at that? Who was it? I think I was looking at it, but I can't remember. Yeah, somebody was talking about the GH5, but I don't know much about it. Micro Four Thirds. Would you say you're more of the photography side or streaming vlogging side? Content creation is what I label my content creator is what I label myself as. So I make content for businesses. I also do streaming here on YouTube for my own content. If you guys check out my YouTube channel, I do a lot of talking head where I talk about gear. TikTok, I'm reviewing a lot of products and answering people's questions. Instagram, all of these links can be found in my link in bio right here, guys. Feel free to check it out. What do you think about the Canon R5? Love the Canon R5, bro. Just got an A7 IV upgrading from... Hell yeah, dude. You did it. Leslie K. Walla. Congratulations. You did it. What would you do if you were starting your business today? Focus on making ads for businesses. So creating content specifically designed for ads for businesses. And that's what I kind of do right now, but I would go hard on creating content for businesses. Creating content specifically designed for ads on social media platforms. That's what I would do. Yeah, I would do more of that. That was a great question. Kicks and lifts. Yeah, that's a great question. Definitely a good one. I've been trying to start but suck. What do you suck at, bro? Creating content? It's just some basic video skills. The tricky part really is learning how to manage the ads, learning how to deploy and manage the ads, and learning the kind of content that converts into sales for a specific business. Oh, I meant stuck. Oh, where are you stuck at? What are you stuck at? Whoa, lost my focus there. Lost my focus, guys. Boop. Just starting. LOL. I've got all the gear. Then all you gotta do is get busy, man. All you gotta do is get busy. That's if you're just stuck. You got everything you need. You need to stop buying stuff and just go out there. Just go out there and start marketing yourself on social media. Get a nice website going. or at least a social media page that is dedicated to just this business that you got, you know? But it takes a while to kick it up, you know? It takes a while to like get it going. YouTube world, what's going on over there? What do you guys do? What kind of cameras do you guys have over in the YouTube world? Do you guys make money with your cameras? Do you not have a camera and you're looking to buy one? Let me know. Comment down in the chat. Boot. I recently upgraded to a Canon EOS R3. Sick. So I'm letting go of my Sony A64 for a lesser price. Cool. Mm-hmm. Going from a Sony to an R3 is kind of crazy. Kind of crazy. Not gonna lie. Michael P. Libby. I shoot with a Canon 5D Mark III. Sick, dude. Sick. With a 24 to 70 and a 70 to 200 f4. What do you do, Michael Pibby? That's a nice combo, dude. You're 100% right, bro. Yeah, you just got to get busy, man. You just got to get busy. You got to get busy. I'm working on a small project this weekend for my personal business. I'm trying to draw more signups and stuff. We'll see how it goes. But I'm going to be creating like 5 VSL videos. And I'm going to be recording them. I also have a lot of product reviews to do this weekend. So just got to get busy, broski. Old poopy legs. My issue is that I like nice things. I don't necessarily need a high-end camera, but I'd love to stream more, which lead me down a rabbit hole. Equipment, cameras, stream decks, mixers. Yeah, I get it, bro. But just get what you need to. I mean, because sometimes I get gas as well. Gas, gear acquisition syndrome. But I like to think about, like, unless I'm upgrading a camera, I try to have like an end goal in mind, you know, like right now I'm running 3 cameras, which is definitely overkill, but I think my stream, if I do say so myself, I think it looks pretty decent, you know, like I have the R50 here on display. I can do a couple of different things that I'm happy with, you know, and if I'm specifically in the visual media and like audio and streaming niche, content creator niche, I think it's important for me to have good looking visuals, right? Like there's value in me having a good looking visuals. But if you're just a guy that just likes to stream and stuff, and also I'm not the kind of content creator or influencer that is going to tell you to not spend your money. If you have the money, fucking spend it, dude. You know what I mean? I would never tell you to go into debt, or I would never tell you to spend next month's rent money on this stuff. But if you have the money, the disposable income, fucking do it, dude. Hoping to upgrade this year. The last 2 years, I shoot about... Whoo, that's crazy, man. Congratulations. You're busy, dude. You're busy. Also, sports soccer when I'm free. What do you think about the Lumix S5 2X compared to the Sony? The Lumix by visuals is pretty sick, dude. It's pretty sick. Iris Barris. This is probably a... We're going to block this person. Block. If you guys see scammers in the chat, let me know, because I will block them immediately. I went crazy about the FX3, Sony 16 to 35, and a 24 to 70. Yeah, that's a nice combo, dude. That's part of the holy trinity, 16 to 35, 24 to 70. Got the R50V, mainly took pictures, and it looks amazing with the R50 1.8, but it's tight for vlog. Yeah, Nabby, what I would do is probably get like a 23 millimeter. That's what I'm using right here. The 23 millimeter, this one right here. Because I use the R50V And then this view right here, this is the R50V with the 16 millimeter. So you can see I'm about arm's length away, maybe 2-3 feet. What is that, 2.5 feet? Maybe about 3 feet away. And I have a nice field of view right here. And then this one over here, about the same distance, I'm at a 23 millimeters. And that's these lenses right here, the Sigma 23 and the Sigma 16. Good flash recommendation, anything from Godox. Anything from Godox. Yeah, Michael P. Libby. Yeah, it sounds like you're a professional, bro. What are you thinking about upgrading to, like the R5 probably? The R5 would be a great upgrade, dude. Keep all your lenses, get the R5. If you can swing the R5 Mark II, you'll have everything you need for the next decade. The 16 millimeter on a crop sensor, bro, does not distort that much. So this is the 16 millimeter. If you are, so keep in mind, like, I'm not, you know, when I think of vloggers, I always think of people like doing like handheld stuff like this, you know, vlogging kind of like this. 16 millimeters on a crop sensor at arm's length. I'm not that big of a guy. 16 on a crop gives me about a little bit less space, but that's for you to keep in mind. This is also an f1.4, and this lens is spectacular, dude. This lens is so good. I've said it a couple times on this stream. Or maybe this one. Is this one good? No, I don't know. What's this one? I believe I can fly. Not that one. Maybe this one? Not that one either. Anyways, I have 3 of these 16 millimeters. They're pretty nice. They're pretty nice. But for streaming, this is a 23 millimeter, and this is vertical. It's set up vertically. How do you feel about the Canon 1DX? I don't feel anything about the Canon 1DX. So I saw a guy selling a Canon R50 with a Sigma 18 to 50 f2.8. With that combo, would you advise for? No, I wouldn't. No, not coming from a you. It would feel like a toy to you, Michael. How much was it? The Sigma 18 to 50 is nice. It's definitely a nice, but it would feel like a toy to you, unless it was like a great deal, like $900. You're a professional photographer, bro. You need a robust camera. I think, yeah, the R5 is definitely the goal for sure, and I wouldn't waste. What about the R6? The R6 is a little bit better, but the R50, you would find it would feel like a toy. It would literally feel like a toy. What software do you use to stream on TikTok? So what I'm using is OBS. I'm using OBS on a horizontal and vertical canvas, and I am streaming that to YouTube, and then I'm getting a virtual cam and sending that over to TikTok. The combo was US. That's too expensive, dude. That's way too expensive. What was included in that? Fuck no, dude. Absolutely not. Absolutely not, dude. You know why? Because actually we're looking at it right here. The lens itself is RF, Canon RF. The lens itself is $600, $650, $670. And then the Canon R50 is $670 as well. So let's do some math real quick. Math is hard, right? So we'll say 670, 680. 680 plus, what was the other one, guys? 670? 1350. Yeah, so yeah, no way. Is the Canon 1DX a good camera? If that's what you can afford and that's what you want, hell yeah, man. Yeah, hell yeah. What are they? What did they get the 1DX up to? 1DX 3 or 4? Hi, I'm doing wildlife photography. Do you recommend me to upgrade to Sony A7 II body or get a new lens? What are you currently on? Justin, what are you currently on, broski? The Lego Man. I think this is my camera. The R50? Yeah, the R50 is nice. I got my Sigma 18 to 35 straight up, went and tried on gimbals. Nice, dude. What'd you think? Lancer on TikTok. I enjoy close-up nature shots. It's a hobby of mine. It was gifted a Kodak. What to get next? A proper interchangeable lens camera, probably. TikTok. Hello, TikTok. YouTube. Where we at, YouTube? 6 viewers on YouTube. Wow. Would it be better to stick to the 1DX or get the new R50? I mean, the 1DX used to be an old, was a pro camera like 20 years ago, right? My fear is that the camera is just way too old, bro. 2012, Jesus Christ, dude. Yeah, it's a pretty advanced camera. This, look at this thing, dude. Crazy, bro. For $500, you can get a 1DX, dude. This camera they used to use at the Olympics and shit. Insane. Insane. Okay, understood. So while thinking of upgrading, the question of megapixels is one thing I'm thinking about. I don't want to spend $2,000 on upgrading, then find out I need more megapixels. Well, what have you been used to, Michael P. Libby? Because the R5, I think would be, I think if you can swing for the R5, you'll be good for literally the next 15 years of your life. You'll probably die with that fucking camera. You know what I mean? It's one of those cameras. The R6 Mark I is still a great camera, but it does have 20 megapixels. So there is that. But it's a lovely camera, dude. And this camera you can find for like $1,200. Look, $1,300, right? Used. Definitely go for used if you can find it. I just traded in my R6. And then let's look at the Canon R5. Canon R5 is probably like $2,000. Oh, look at this. You can find one. Yeah, about $2,000. But this is 45 megapixels. So, big difference. Big difference. Finlay, yes. If you're just doing photos, though, that's why the R6 Mark I and the R6 Mark I and the R5 Mark I, I sold them or got rid of them. Actually, I didn't get rid of the R5. I still have it. But I did get rid of the R6 because my work started to become more video focused and like content creation focused, and I needed longer record times. But if you're purely a photographer and that's like your main shtick, these are beautiful photo cameras. All the shoots I have done till now does not require higher megapixels, but thinking of the future. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's a tough option, but those are the two that I would stick to. And why I'm insisting, Michael P. Libby, on Canon is because you can use all your glass, your EF glass on these cameras with like a $200 adapter. You know what I mean? You get the EF to RF adapter, and now all of your old lenses work beautifully on your new camera. Lumix G7 best hybrid for beginners for under $200 with a used kit lens? I don't know. G7, $200? For anything under like $400 budgets, guys, just buy the fucking camera. Just buy it. Just check it out. You know what I mean? Like $200 when you're thinking, chances are that the first camera that you buy is very likely not going to be the last, right? Anything under $400, $500, I think is worth just taking a chance on seeing if you like it. The $200 price range, under $400, your choices are so limited that you're probably dealing with cameras that are older than 10 years old, maybe 8 years old at the earliest, right? Totally worth the investment at that price point. Finley, yeah, you're running into record time issues. Yeah, and Canon, those were the last cameras that they made that had record limits. Everything after the R5 one and the R6 one has unlimited record time or like 2-hour limits. Do I have a Hasselblad? A question from YouTube. I do not have a Hasselblad. I'd prefer a Fuji though. Should I get a Sony 24 to 105 f4 or a Sigma 24 to 70? Is the 24 to 70 an f2.8? And do you need the extra stop of light? Torn between Lumix and Sony. Any advice? Which Sony and which Lumix? Do you have the RP or the R? No, I have the Canon R8. Yes, not really. Personally, I would probably, Charlie Bonadillo, I'd probably still go with the 24 to 70 f2.8. Only because the f4 is, to me, it's kind of a problem for my workflow. It might not be a problem for your workflow, but it is for me. So if you're asking for my opinion, I would get the lowest, because you can get your 70 to 2, your 28 to 70 to 4 f4, but you can't get your f4 lens down to 2.8, right? So and from 70 to 100, 35 millimeters, it's really not that much more reach. It's not a significant amount of reach that I'm willing to compromise an extra, excuse me, an extra stop of light, if that makes sense. Yeah, and if you already have, I was just about to say, if you already have a 70 to 200, yeah. Granted, you don't need to swap out your lenses, but that extra 30 millimeters is not really, yeah, I was going to suggest that too. Like the f4, the 24 to 105 typically is a little bit shorter and smaller, but so those are the things, right? You got to like weigh your pros and cons and see what you're willing to compromise. For me personally, I've looked at plenty of 24 to 105s for that reason. Not because I want the extra stop of light, but I want that form factor. I've even looked at the EF version, because look at this. You can find one for like 500 bucks. Like this would be pretty reasonable to me. Obviously the RF would be more ideal, but these ones retail. Oh wait, where's the RF version? But this one's pretty cheap too. I can't see the RF version. They might not have any. Oh, here it is. Yeah, this one's like 4 times the price. Lois, this is mpb.com. Luis. We got some questions, some comments. Yeah, those cameras are for sure the ones I'm looking at. I guess any of the mirrorless full frame cameras from Canon, now amazing cameras compared to the 5D Mark IV. I think it's the next logical step. It's the next logical step, especially if you're used to the 5D series, which is indeed a professional grade camera that is going to last you. Anything other than the R6 and the R5 are going to feel like toys. They're not weather sealed. They're not like dust proof. They have smaller batteries. A bunch of stuff that you probably are not going to be happy with. Would you recommend... And let's see, would you recommend and LUTs for S-Log3 or any places to find some good LUTs? I buy my LUTs just from websites that include them in their subscription, but I rarely use them. Sometimes I use LUTs, but I like Canon colors, the standard profiles. What you're watching me on right now, guys, this is just the Canon standard profile. Literally, it says standard profile. Like, there's nothing on here. And I've just liked the true to life colors. I don't really work too often in any projects that require a lot of creative editing in it. When I do, sometimes I do like a Joker kind of color grade. I think they're like the same size, but I don't know. Yeah, I would go 24 to 70, Charlie. Is Sony A9 good for indoor sports photography? It is. Yes. Don't they have the A9 II out? Best P&S for traveling. What is P&S for traveling? Nikon ZR or FX3? Inside web. At this point, broski, I'm probably going with the Nikon ZR just because of it's brand new and it's $2,000. How much is the Nikon ZR, guys? The Nikon ZR is really impressive, dude. 2,200 bucks, broski. This is hard to beat, guys. Yeah, this is definitely hard to beat. $2,200 for the body only, full frame. You can't beat it, man. The FX3 Mark II is probably going to be like $4,500. Okay, thanks for the advice and tips. I guess I'll have to go. It's almost 10:30. All right, broski. 10:30. Oh, you must be over in Europe. Thanks for stopping in, bro. Appreciate it. Yeah. Yeah, the Nikon ZR. If we're talking about right now and you need to buy a camera, I don't think I can recommend confidently the FX3 or the FX30, just because I think they're about to get refreshes. I'm pretty confident that this year they're gonna release some refreshes. You're in South America, and it's 2 hours ahead over there, I guess, right? You must be in Brazil somewhere. I don't even know what would be 2 hours away. What would be 2 hours away? Let's see. Oh, I guess, yeah. Oh, you could be in like over here, huh? Is this about 2 hours away? I guess you can be in like Guyana, French Guyana, or Brazil, or Uruguay. Yeah, I don't know my time zones that well. Yeah, but you're 2 hours in front. Is the ZR much better than the FX3? I think so. I think so, dude. I think so. But really what I'm looking at is like, this is a hell of a deal, dude. This is a hell of a deal. 6K full frame, 32-bit float audio. It's pretty impressive, man. It's pretty impressive, not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. $6K 60, 4K 120, 1080 240. Fuck. Yeah, it's an impressive camera, and it just came out in December. I am in Suriname. Oh, okay. I don't know where that is. I have a Sony 61 who suggests me a lens for overall photography. You should get the Sigma 18 to 50 f2.8. This lens right here. Saga Photo, Sony A1. Am I cooked? I buy the FX3. No. I just wouldn't recommend it. You would be cooked inside web if the FX3 Mark II comes out this year. I would say you'd be cooked because I think they're going to make some pretty impressive changes to it, some upgrades. Then again, knowing Sony, they're probably going to stiff all of their customers, because that's what Sony does, unfortunately. Suriname is between Guyana and... Oh, I was close. I was close. Yeah, this is the lens that I would buy for anybody that's just getting started. This is really nice. And it comes in the Sony E-mount as well. Let me clear up some of these. MPB, XS20, Fujifilm, Amazon. Don't need this. Don't need this. Don't need this. Just cleaning up some tabs here. I bought the 18 to 50 f2.8. Is it worth it? Hell yeah, dude. That lens is great, dude. I just bought the Canon R6 Mark III. What about that? Fire, bro. Please buy me a reflector. Why would I buy you a reflector? Liam, what up, Liam? Good to see you, broski. Just hanging out. I buy a Pixis 12K from Blackmagic to test. How good is this camera? The Pixis 12K is pretty nice. I am a newcomer director. Congratulations. I am WBX. What am I sitting at? Hour 53. Okay. If you're just starting out, go with the Sony A7 III for photos and the A7S III for videos. That's solid advice. Yeah, that's solid advice. For $500 more though, you can get the A7 IV. That's the kind of that's one of the things that people forget. The price differences. And I think like the price difference between one camera to the next, if it's between $500 to $700, it's worth saving up a little bit more money and getting that upgrade, especially if it's $500. You know what I mean? Like $500 is worthwhile to save up just a little bit more. Because the A7 IV is a massive improvement in a camera compared to the FX3. Not bad today. Not bad today, guys. The YouTube streams are starting to find an audience, which is great. I peaked today at 12 viewers on YouTube, which is kind of something that I predicted was going to happen. The first couple days, it was like nobody. But then slowly. Inside Web, comment from TikTok. I use the FX3 for video and the A7 IV for photos. How long can I work with this setup for commercials? A long time, dude. That's a great combo, man. Yeah, you can use it for forever. %. I need to start thinking about dinner. I'm starting to get hungry. Nine viewers, 8 viewers, 15 viewers. All right, y'all. That is going to do it for me tonight. For those of you guys that are still hanging out with me on TikTok and on YouTube, if you haven't already, please consider following and subscribing. I do appreciate each and every one of you that hung out with me tonight. I'll be going live tomorrow night and probably the rest of the weekend. Thank you again. Toodles.